Brad Williams, Excel Primed, a quick and simple lookup, and we're actually going to use the lookup function. Here we have, we have a SKU. That's important. Sales date, not so important. Retail price, important. Why? Lookup SKU, show last price. Random SKU numbers do not work with lookup. In other words, no random between, where you're probably applauding going, finally. Here, we have a SKU. Based on, we have our, this is going to be fixed. So SKU 299 is the SKU, and our retail price is price. Now, the critical thing here, our lookup function, you remember in the previous tutorial when we were looking up that word, our lookup value is 2. And you know, based on what we're attempting to do here, we have that 1 divided by, we know number 2 will never ever be found. We're going to roll back and we're going to find the last SKU related to 1013. If there are multiple 1013s in here, lookup is just going to grab the last one. In here, we have lookup to 1 divided by SKU. Now, SKU is going to equal whatever we put in to the right of the yellow, 1013. Our lookup value is going to be our result vector. We have a lookup vector and a result vector. Keep that in mind. Our result vector, we have to identify that. Think of it as index and match. This first part would be the match, and then this would be the index. Find the SKU, return whatever's in retail price. Here we go. Lookup value 2. Lookup vector, F9. We're going to hit a whole bunch of div, but we're going to get a bunch of div errors. Why? Because what are we trying to find? 1013. If we can't find 1013, what's going to happen? We're going to get a bunch of div errors. Let me show you. SKU, F9, and see we have 1 divided by 1013, and so on and so forth, until we find, back up here. Whoa, pull back on those reins. What I meant to say is 1011 equal G4. If not, it's going to be false. What's false? 0. So just go with 1 divided by 0, div error. 1012, div error. So on and so forth until we get to 1013. 1 divided by 10, whatever that number is, it's going to be a decimal. And then we're going to get 2 errors. That's really the bottom line. Here, we just look up the lookup vector, F9. And why is it 1? And why is it not a decimal? Good question. This is one of those true-false deals. If that deal was, and I said true-false, and I kind of just stepped on my own foot here. If 1011 doesn't equal 1013, that's false. False is 0. You have to complete your interior before you do the exterior. In other words, the stuff in the parenthesis, you have to complete this first before the division. Here, remember the lookup vector, F9? You know those numbers and stuff? F9? If we look, F9, then we're going to get false, 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 true, false, false. That's what I was trying to convey, everyone. And how's that done? We have the numbers. We have this 1011 equals G4. You remember that? Right here? SKU 298. That has to be completed first. So we have to go through this array to determine the trues and falses. That's why 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1, or the equivalent. Then all we're going to do is look at the retail price and match wherever that location is, and match this lookup vector, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the equivalent of the match in match index, or index match, however you want to do it. Read up over here on your right. Review the anatomy if you need to. Brad Williams, Excel Primed.